One of the things that we would discover is he would learn how to count 1 to 5. Great, he'd count 1 through 5. And he would have those brief seizures, his eyes would roll back, and it was like you just deleted everything he just learned. We knew when we got married, and we got married kind of later in life, and it wasn't very long before we knew that we couldn't have kids naturally. So that's when we immediately went into adoption mode. That actually went a lot quicker than we thought.
Because we went to a private adoption agency in Dallas, and we had said we were thinking we wanted a boy. So they said, okay, that could be even longer. So it could be 18, 24 months. And at 9 o'clock in the morning while I'm at work, I get a phone call that we need to come pick up our baby. Finally, it was
it was
7, 8 o'clock at night.
8 o'clock.
We finally got to scrub up and put all the hazmat stuff on and go in to because he was in ICU because he had a breathe, swallow, suck problem. And so he'd already been care flighted to that hospital. And at this time they had said he was good. Now, remember when the process of Carson came up, when they had called us, they did let us know. And like I said, the minute we saw the picture, it didn't matter. I mean, we knew that unfortunately the birth mother had some very serious problems. And it wasn't until, probably within that first week that we realized he was still having problems. And we at first didn't quite know what exactly was going on. And he did so well with it because he had it so bad that when we finally did get him tested, what we were told is that in most cases at that time, he should have been getting pneumonia or something because of it. One of the doctors that he had seen when we were still in Texas had said that in his experience, he was kind of letting us know that the chances of him having ADHD or ADD or something like that were probably pretty high, knowing what chemicals had been running through his system. As we were moving to this house, he was having seizures and we didn't know it. So finally, as they got bad enough and he was starting to basically pass out, we had him diagnosed. He had myoclonic seizure disorder.
Yeah, so again, as we started to discover about SEEDS and not knowing a lot of people in the community at that time, and BOCES had recommended, and with a little bit of support, we decided to do it. And it was almost as if, because we were so overwhelmed, that the staff at SEEDS had basically thrown us a lifeline.
So I think SEEDS is so important and special just because we are able to offer all kiddos in our community that high quality early childhood environment. We have highly qualified teachers and we use research-based parenting classes and social emotional curriculum, and I think we're just able to kind of promote that whole child development. We really try to meet the needs of all the children in our community, and we see a lot of kiddos that are from at-risk families. That might look like they are from foster or adoptive families, they might be coming from abusive homes, they might be children with special needs, or just have lower socioeconomic status.
I will say that even though SEEDS, of course, was geared for Carson and the other students and did tremendous, I personally, and I've said this to Lisa Ann before, I personally had a fantastic time at SEEDS, because when I looked at just the facilities, the things they were doing, it was all for the kids. And the parents made us feel like we were a huge, important piece of that instructional, that education. The biggest part, I think, too, the education, but it was the socialization. And because he was kind of always an outsider, and I attribute this to SEEDS, because now he's the center.
My favorite part of being a teacher, I guess, would be being with the children. I love to be there. I love to see them experience new things in their world. I love to see them get something and say, oh, I got got it. And their eyes just get so big. That's worth over $1 million to you. One of the unique things that we have is something called an individual learning plan. So each child that walks into the door gets their own set of plans that we work with them on. So what does that mean? When we had a person like Carson come into our school, we were aware of what everyone was saying his limitations were. And we were like, well, we'd like to see what he can do. So I see a child that used to take away toys, used to get angry very quickly. He would do like this with me, to wanting to play, wanting to share. Then he turns around and it does not get upset about things. There are times, of course, that he would get upset because that's just normal behavior. But more often than not, he was a happy boy.
I feel like Seeds really helped me as a father, and I would say that anybody considering Seeds, especially if they have a special needs child, anybody considering it, that if you're considering a preschool environment, that we couldn't think of anything better. You know, and not knowing much about Seeds at the time, we didn't think there was really any way that he would be normalized, if you want to say that, into family, into community, into school environments, what have you. And we felt very alone and isolated. And Seeds, it was depressing for a while, but Seeds really did come alongside us and said, we're right here with you.
We are a local nonprofit, and I just want to say thank you so much, and we appreciate any support that you can give to provide support for early childhood education and invest in the kiddos.